the first round underway here. Legend going for a fairly normal split, and here we have Scarium.
Scarium without ammo.
I want to see him fire.
So Scarium is going for some cheesy kind of cap on a lower one cap, while Legend is trying to do some kind of map control. Honestly, last time they didn't really do it that well because Rage Quit managed to cap them doing that, and but they played with T54 light, and this is completely new setup. They have a tier 9 Butshot, T10 heavy, angling people close to the cap, so no one can really just storm it. So yeah, they're much better prepared now. Really small rotation by them.
Already a rotation coming out here. Killsteal and Nino and Dima starting to rotate towards that southern side. Diplomat gets spotted out now. The move from Gohard seems to be made. Scarium's going to go on that cap and provide a shield. I will question where he provides the shield, but they provide a shield for Nile, who will be pretty safe in that I7.
Yes, I7 by itself is really in great position there, and only thing that can reset it is some HE shells. But when you put a guy like this, and he can turn a turret and shoot, he is 100% protected, unless they have an art, which they don't.
He has ammo!
He has ammo and he's doing damage. Scarium will not do 0.
Yeah, but now in return, Scarium, that CDC is going to fall here, as one more shell will take him out, and that will be the CDC. But in the meantime, El Nino already getting smacked in that 50B, probably to buy Diplomat, and Gohard in a good situation here, already getting a good position. Nile on that cap is going to be very hard to take out, and even Tiny there in that 183.
HP-wise, this is a pretty even game, but huge advantage for Gohard here, being able to pressure the cap. Also, we see some of their positions are quite similar to what Ding played.
Now, Diplomat taking some damage here on return, but trading evenly on Dima, who is now on reload as well. Now, the question is, how does Legend deal with this cap? Because Nile, he is really safe. It's really hard to reset him, that IS-7. What is Legend's move here?
They will have to commit and push, and that's actually what Gohard is waiting for, because they are positioned to fight around there. You see that middle corner behind the E100, that's where their main focus fire will be, because that's the only angle that Legend can take and press on together. If they go just... Oh, nice DK by Ibeb, and not Annihilator not paying attention. He picked too much with his tank here, trying to get a better angle to shoot left, and he actually got DK because of that. Really careless move by him.
Now the cap all the way back up to 104 seconds, so Nile not the greatest thing there to do. Kaizu in return taking a lot of damage there as well by Zed in an E100. Now, slowly but surely, keep a look on those HP. Legend is edging forward. They're actually looking okay in this one.
Yeah, Legend is playing really careful, finally. I think addition in this team is an El Nino. I didn't see him play before.
Not sure.
I think it's him. And the rest of the guys are paying attention not to waste HP and press 2 forward. They're chipping the HP of Gohard slowly but surely, and Annihilator got shot again.
Nile getting reset again. This is not looking good for Gohard in this first round here. Ebeb getting reset onto Nile, and should be able to do something to Ebeb here. It's in a strong position for that FE, but not completely safe. Now Diplomat taking even more damage, and slowly but surely Legend is edging their way forward.
As we talk, the damage span is really widening. It's now 3000 now. Last time you mentioned it was 2, and they're nowhere closer to capping. I don't know. I would really like to see, was it a problem in Nile's angling, or he actually had to worry too much about 2 sides, so he was not able to maintain the cap. But Ebeb is doing real good job there, taking minimum damage and resetting twice so far. That's a lot of time bought for Legend to work on Gohard's HP.
Now Zed here in that E100 pretty much has free reign over that ramp position, as there's nobody there to block him off. Now Kaizu taking even more damage, and this is still looking good for Legend in this one. Now Killer Kid taking some damage here from Ebeb as well from the far back, and Legend is doing really well here in the first round.
So guys, it doesn't matter if it's a slow game like this. This is a tactical kind of game. When someone is pressuring the cap, there is 2 ways to do this. Either you suicidally push on, that's usually a bad choice, or if you have good angles, and they found good angles, you will gradually win the game. Look at this, Tiny in FVTD, he's trying to connect, but he misses. 20 seconds to the end.
Now Killsteal is moving forward here. Ebeb is taking a lot of damage. Killsteal has to be resetted, but Nile gets resetted already here in this one now. Diplomat goes down, and Killsteal shouldn't win this engagement against Killer Kid, as Dima and El Nino dropping low at the same time. There's still a lot of HP advantage here for Legend, though.
He even doesn't have to win that, I would say. He just needs to do enough damage and occupy him, because the rest of the Legend is pushing as one here, and they're doing a great job. Kaizu is falling.
Yeah, but Tiny making it a little bit closer here at FVTD, and there's still Gohard now with the gun advantage. That FV183 needs to survive. He needs to do another shell. Danny is on reload here. Nile in a very strong position in that IS-7. Hold down. Ali can't do much about it. And actually, Legend here, yes, up in HP, but positional advantage definitely in favor of Gohard at this point.
4 minutes till the end. Really tight game. We didn't expect this. Gohard is struggling hardcore against Legend. One shot by Tiny. That's the strength of those TDs. Managed to bring Gohard back in the game, because they were really down under in one moment.
He pretty much removed Ipurash from the map here, and Nile not going down that IS-7. It's such a strong position. He is hold down there, and Ali and El Nino can't really do much about it. Now Danny is on the flank here. Gonna have to fight with El Nino. El Nino lands the first shot, but Danny still has enough HP to make the peak here. Has to be careful in this one, El Nino. And now Gohard is in a good situation still. Danny is controlling this side. Killer Kid is controlling the other side. Tiny is controlling the gap, and Nile is on the capture circle.
They have everyone to control, and they have a good cooldown tank in position. This is now starting to be a real problem for Legend. The only advantage they have is Zed on E100 with a lot of HP, but is this, yes, is this his loader dead or commander? I can't see the
loader. His loader
yes,
is
loader.
dead. Now, it looks like he wants to make the peak against Tiny here, and Tiny, 719, but nice shot from Zed, taking out Tiny at least. Still, look at these HPs, 1.6 against 1.8, a very close round here, and Danny looks like he wants to rotate all the way around, has to be careful in this one here. Niall still has that capture circle pressure, and Danny's going to be vital here. If he manages to get behind El Nino, could pretty much win this round for them, as Zed here moving forward doesn't manage to connect the shell onto Killer Kid here. He still has a lot of time though.
56 seconds is practically eternity when you play this, but the key player now is Danny, as Daki mentioned, because he is with a lot of HP and he can flank. And there you go, connection on El Nino.
Yeah, Danny picking up El Nino now is very bad for Legend. They're going to get surrounded here, as Danny still has a lot of shells available now. Ali is pushing forward, trying to make the fight with Killer Kid. So is Zed here. Zed could one-shot Killer Kid if they manage to. No, Zed doesn't penetrate his shell, but Ali does manage to do it now. Killer Kid smartly pushing forward, wants to get around Zed. Needs to land at least one more on Zed. Zed can't really pick him up now. Both of the Legend guys are on a one-shot, and Killer Kid seems to have the reload before Zed, as he does pick him up. Nice play from Killer Kid. Now Ali does pick up Killer Kid, but Niall's still on the cap, and it's going to be Danny that picks him up.
Still alive.
It's going to be it. Gohard. Now is a very, very close round.
Very tight game, decided in one shot in one moment, and we didn't expect this. But this is much better display of Legend, finally.
I mean, this tactic as well. They had no real answer in the beginning for Ebep in that FV. He was just sitting there, constantly resetting.
Yes, and FVTD had no connection on him. He missed all the shots.
But the shot on Ipurash.
If Legend didn't come in a group where he had a chance to shoot point blank, they would probably even lose.
The position from Nile, hold down, saved them a lot, because he could constantly peek on those FVs, knowing he is really safe. They're not going to penetrate that.
Once Ebe was out of that equation and he had no danger from that side, there was no one else who could pressure his position anymore. Really nice answer by Legend on this game. It didn't work out.
It looked really better than the rounds they played before, so that's a hopeful thing. I mean, they looked better rotational-wise.
There was no suicidal tendencies for one. So that's kind of surprising.
Take a look at the stats from that last round, though. Mojo, do you have anybody in your fantasy team for this one? Oh, my boy! Killer Kid, Carry Barry. I think I have him. Did I have him?
The pain. I don't know. Did you sell him out like Mayland?
I think I have him.
You mean you hope you have him?
I hope I have him. But 4.4k damage, very crucial place. I mean, Zed also a lot of damage, but I can't agree. If him and Ali were flanking Killer Kid, Zed should have held his shell until he knows for sure he's going to penetrate.
Yeah, that was a really big loss for them, because it costed Ali his life, because he had to help him instead of focus on other side. So that game still had the potential to go other way, but that one missed again.
Yeah, if he hold his shot,
also let's not forget he had a loader dead, so his reload was 20+ seconds. That's eternity in this kind of game.
Set in the E100, not the created... Well, he did a good performance. Just rushing that last shot was a little bit of a mistake. Maybe some pressure.
E100 pushing forward FE heavy is never a dominant one because the damage FE heavy can pump up in that short time is humongous. Like 3 shells to compare to one of E100.
Even then, Dani coming around, getting El Nino, that was very crucial.
That was the major point. That was the moment also when they lost their tier 9 budget to FE heavy. At that moment it wasn't a crucial one, but later it proved to be a big loss.
Let's take a look at the lineups here moving into our second round. It goes down again in Legend. Now I like this. They're bringing the tier 9 Bacha, Gohard as well. Seems like Legend is finally starting to adapt.
Yes, but they don't really have big kind of pressure vehicles here. So this is more like we want to find where Gohard is and push them setup. But Gohard is pretty equipped to deal with that because they have a lot of stopping power there in those armor tanks.
Gohard has a lot of 1-1-3. It's very good to deal with a push as well. In Legend, yeah, the lineup looks okay, but 3 FE 215Bs might be a little bit much. But let's see what Legend has in store for us. Moving into our second round here, they are now going to be on the offensive side. And the start here for both teams, Mojo, fairly common. Legend starting to bias themselves more towards that southern side, though.
So Legend is again sticking to their own habits. They are going to bottom side of the map here, trying to do a big rotation with massive amount of tanks. But at least they are not split up all over the place. But Gohard does not want, as we said, they are playing really offensive setup. They don't want to let anyone control the map, and they're already, by this displacement, covering both caps. So none of the caps cannot be challenged, and this will be a fight kind of game, guys. No cap pressure is available anymore.
Tiny and Zed trading the first shells here. Killer Kid as well a little bit. And Legend kind of driving into this crossfire. Those bad shots kind of stuck in their positions though, but the rest of Gohard starting to move, wants to cover. And Legend kind of getting caught off guard here as Ali and Ipurash already taking some damage. Looking for a good start from Gohard, but Dima on the flank, but Kaizu will be there to deal with him.
2 budgets of Legend will start to come in play now, but the problem is Gohard is already displacing their tanks so they can deal with it. And Kaizu already took an angle to stop Dima, and we will see who will go in the way of Killsteal.
Killsteal there on that 0 line could provide a lot of cover here. Ebeb trying to trade with Dani. Dani doesn't panic, Ebeb does. Nice shell from the FE Heavy. Now Killer Kid is going to control Dima. But there's nobody really controlling Killsteal yet. He could be landing some nice shells on the side as he lands the first. Needs more than this though from that position.
Tiny took some damage and I think it came from Killsteal.
Yeah.
I think Killsteal had a good angle to shoot at them. So Legend is again playing cautiously after that first engagement. I would say none of them got a better hand out of it. Maybe Legend a bit better because they have Tiny lowered on 800 HP and Dani on 1200. So I would say Legend maybe has a slight advantage because the loss of their HP is evenly dispersed.
Now the game seems to have slowed down a little bit after that very aggressive initial play from Gohard here. Dani already losing some HP, but
Dani did some really careless picking and I think he received 2 shots as a punishment for that needlessly.
nice shell from Killer Kid though in that bad shot, landing another one onto Zed. Just look at the HP, there is 21 points of, no, sorry, 11 points of health difference between the two.
Yeah, but still, if we watch Tiny, the rotation force for Gohard, the only fast tank next to Killer Kid is on really low HP. He's on 2-shot. That's a problem.
Might provide to be a problem here, but the lucky side for Gohard is that they are on the defensive. So they could be nice shell from Nile here, but getting shelled in return from Killsteal. Has to blow his repair kit for that one, taking more and more damage in this one.
He's perma-checked now here.
Oh, this is not good for Nile, taking 900, 1.2k damage, very big overextension here. 2k damage actually onto Nile and Killsteal. Lucky for Nile is on reload. Very, very bad peaks coming out from Nile.
And a dead driver that he probably cannot repair anymore. He probably even didn't have a medic to start with because of rations. So he's dead dodo in the water and on 1-shot now. His position in the start of engagement was perfect while he had a covered flank. But his teammates, Tiny, who took HP, lost HP in the start, who was supposed to cover that side, is not doing it. Dani, who lost HP, moved back, and Nile stayed ignorant to that and paid a lot of HP now for that. If they lose this game, it's gonna be really because of that kind of trade-offs.
Killer Kid here taking 2 shells as well, and Gohard slowly but surely giving a lot over to the Legend side here, as now Legend has started to cap, and Nile is low, Killer Kid is low, Tiny is low, so a lot of that rotation first, but Zed gets absolutely wrecked by Tiny in that batchat as well, so now Legend giving a gift towards Gohard.
And best player of Legend dying now, this is a bad mojo for them. But at least Zed can now focus on microing his minions. He was complaining that they don't understand anything, so maybe he can tell them now.
Now, I'm not sure how Zed managed to get caught in that one. That was not that great, but still, the cap is on for Legend here, and Gohard is going to have to make a move at some point. It looks like a very big rotation here, but Killer Kid has to be careful as Dima wants to take this fight.
Kaizu and Diplomat are coming in, and they will gather forces. But will that be enough? Because it's only 2 tanks. I think they are actually enough there. The only problem is Killsteal. Killsteal has proven to be a huge problem for them so far.
Dima at the same time pushing down that one line though. That batchat now spots out Killer Kid. Takes the first shell from Killer Kid here. Killer Kid needs more than this. Does manage to detrack him here. Still the advantage here, but Dima drops low now. This is a batchat one-on-one fight. Whoever gets the first shell here will be in the advantage, as Ipurash at the same time, the guy that was scapping, gets wrecked. Here, this could be crucial. Whoever wins this batchat fight. Oh, but Dima gets the first shot. He can just push forward and take down Killer Kid here, as he does.
Nice play.
Nice play from Dima. Killer Kid turning his turret there for a second, but at the same time, the push comes out from Gohard, as Kaizu, Dani want to push forward in this one, but Diplomat coming from the side.
Legend is losing on HP by far now from Gohard, and they are kind of outmatched there in the city because they have 2 batchats rotating around. Now, guys, what was crucial here is after initial losses, Gohard managed to pull their forces back together and make kind of a plan how to unspotted approach that cap and start the push. So the queue for them, the best queue possible, was when Dima actually pushed one of their guys. They knew they were out of the positions to fight, so they had an overmatch there.
Nice shots here coming onto Killsteal Scarium as well, and Diplomat, the one to pick it up here, is just on El Nino and Dima. And again, Legend looked good in this one, but towards the later stages of the round, not able to close it. Now, Dima did win the fight against Killer Kid, but don't think he's going to be able to win the fight against Diplomat.
No, Diplomat is too experienced. He has too many shells and too much HP for Dima to deal with, and Dima has even that commander. For Batchat, that's the worst curse you can get.
Dima here, and it's going to be Diplomat that does it. Picking up their second round here, Gohard now 2-0 up, and again, Legend looked good in this one, but not able to close it out.
Again, they made advantage of 2 or even more 1000 HP because careless positioning of some of the Gohard guys. We saw Dani waste HP, we saw Nile waste HP, and still they managed to master forces, make a good plan, and do a counter rotation and deal with them. It's pretty surprising, but it's working.
Not sure how Zed died in that one.
I think he just got caught, same as Nile, and shot by Batchat in a side when he was not paying attention.
Now, Gohard, they are able to close out the round in the later stages, but they're giving away so much in the beginning, especially Nile in this round and Tiny.
It looks like they are really giving a lot in the start, and they need to be slapped in the face so they actually start playing properly. Initial tactics, go aggressive, take positions, that was fine. No problem with that. But then individual play came to hand, and they were really messing it up. They were really messing it up in some moments. If you watch Nile's angling toward the guys he was shooting, it was perfect.
Yeah.
But he didn't pay attention that Killsteal was like last minute there.
Even though Killsteal shot Dani before.
He shot Dani, Dani ran away. He just didn't pay attention to that. Like, it was no surprise that he will get shot, and his teammate, Dani, who was supposed to cover him against that, was not there.
Let's take a look at stats in the meantime, though, so we can see for Gohard. It's going to be Nile, though. The guy we criticized that doesn't doing the most damage, and Dani, not the guy we expect to be up there. 3.2k damage as well.
They did huge amount of damage, but they also gave a great opening to enemy team toward them. So it's kind of a trade-off. I wouldn't expect them to be at top of this game as damage dealers, but they did well. The guy that did the most problems for them was definitely Killsteal, who was on red line, constantly pestering them, but it was just not enough because heavy tanks in his team did not perform.
Ali, Ebeb, Ipurash. Ipurash was sent onto the capture circle though, so not much to be done for him.
Purash is a constant sacrificial lamb in that team. That much we know.
Reminds me of Road. But now Mojo, moving into our next map. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to give Gohard again the advantage coming into this one.
Well, Gohard played it only against Ding. They lost 2 games there, one of them being a tiebreaker game. They did win attack again, that they were countering Ding. They lost defense when they didn't know how
I
Ding will
remember that
actually
round
react.
Gohard actually won. They ammo-racked Mary from full HP.
On other hand, Prokhorovka by Legend was played only against Kazna. That didn't work out that well. We remember that defense on Prokhorovka when Antik was peeking over the rail, giving up 100% HP just because. I mean, he lost 1500 and then he came back 5 seconds later to just give the remainder.
Hopefully Antik not playing this STB in this one. We can take a look at the lineups here coming into our third round between these two. They don't have an STB, so Antik not going to be playing that one. So Mojo is happy already. And Gohard, again, with that Leopard 1. I think they already brought that last time as well.
On Prokhorovka, I don't think so. It was played before on Ghostan, actually.
Somebody played Leopard 1 on Prokhorovka.
But we have I7 and E5 in defense for Legend. That's a pretty sturdy defense. They can cover the open cap easily with that. We know how they can position against it. TVPs to cover from distance. 1 is okay, 2 is kind of too much for me. It's good against Rush, but when you have to deal with 1-1-3s with TVP, that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, that TVP gun accuracy with heat shells, not the greatest against 1-1-3s.
Best bouncer in a game.
Now, it does seem like our game is ready, so let's get into it. It's going to be Legend against Gohard onto Prokhorovka.
Prokhorovka, one of the first maps in the game. Teams start at the regular spawn points as they do in standard battles. Bases are separated from each other by the railway, so the defending team has to choose whether to send their vehicles to the left side, playing them in the centre, or to the right of the railway, occupying the hill and a part of the village. The attacking team usually attacks the first base. However, the teams often go for face-to-face confrontations, 7-on-7, in the hilly terrain at the centre. That's why both teams frequently use vehicles with good gun depression angles and sturdy turrets.
There we have it now. Legend moving towards that eastern side, no real surprise. And Gohard moving towards that western side.
And thank God no one is splitting just for the hill, because as we said, all it would take to kill those guys on a hill is just a decent parallel push by all the forces from defender. To remind you guys, a lot of teams were leaving people on the hill on H0, sending 4 or 5 tanks in the forest, and just 1 or 2 guys will cover maximum that guy on a hill. If you do a parallel push from 7 line and 0 line, the game is automatically lost. But so far, teams were very hesitant. On the other hand, we've seen so many play days so far, so everyone had a chance to get a hint of other people's tactics and know that that's weakness. So I would say everyone will hesitate doing that from now on. Really offensive play by Gohard in a forest. Daniek trying to spot like crazy to make out are they in a forest or not. He knows they're not, that's why they are playing it so on a red line there, so they would not get spotted from anyone else.
It's a very Ding-esque defense. We saw this from Ding already with the I7 and the E5. Now Gohard.
I think they use 1-1-3 and E5, but yes, that's the best possible defense we've seen so far for the 1 cap. And Gohard obviously has a plan against that, because honestly, picking those 2 tanks is like telegraphing your positions.
What
So
I do like about Legend here is they've already taken control of the full southern side, so they know there's nobody there now. What does Gohard do against this? Because it's very, very hard to cap that base with 2 guys that can pretty much constantly reset you. And how is this Leopard going to come into effect?
Well, last time Gohard won this against Ding, they did a total counterplay. They pushed F line and turned on the middle down to those tanks and wiped them out, because they were separated from the rest of the minions. It was a big chunky group pushing in, and they just used the advanced knowledge of where Ding would be, because Ding was just not changing tactics then. This time, they cannot count on that. Legend is a big unpredictable for them, and the matches so far were too close to underestimate them and do something like that. They will actually have to think their way through and work it out.
Nice shell here from El Nino onto Danny. RU251. Not sure why he decides to stay around the capture circle here. It's going to be very hard to dig out that E5. Has to be careful in this one.
It's not only him. I7 from another angle has also coverage now, and it's his turn to decap, I think.
Ali and that IS-7 here as well. But the rest of Gohard, Skarium, Diplomat, Kaizu, all rotating here, kind of leaving Dani to fend for himself.
I think he's a bait, same as in a game they played against Ding. They will just rotate and push from the other side. But Legend is actually really well positioned to deal with it. Look at that. Most of their mediums are right there on the middle, protecting the flank of their I7.
Ipurash here in the south will be able to spell out the entire push from Gohard if it does come out. And it's going to be depending on how much damage the boys from Legend can do on this crossing. Now, Niall is the first one to be spotted. Dani actually got off that cap. Ipurash has to be careful here as well. Gillsteel already taking some as well.
Yes, and then we have a TVP who is supposed to shoot the hull-down tanks from distance with his chunky turret that can be penetrated by tier 1 tanks. So that's why we don't like TVP in this situation, guys.
Now Niall will get towards that southern side, and Ipurash needs to get out of there. Needs to get into that hole in H8 if he wants to do something now. El Nino and Ali here have to be careful because Killer Kid is just waiting, and we've seen this before. If one of them gets spotted, they're going to take a hell of a lot of damage from behind.
It's a good answer by Gohard here. It's a good read on their positions. You see how they are parallel flanking F line and K line down. Ipurash had to run away in panic. So now Legend has to reposition. But they have two heavies that cannot cross anywhere. And they are even being shot by Killer Kid there. So big problem for Legend at the moment.
El Nino taking a hell of a lot of damage there already by that bat shot. And the rest of Gohard just sitting on those rails waiting for Legend.
Gohard is slowly maneuvering. They know the Ipurash is a weak spot here. He's alone. They will just kill him so that he doesn't do any kind of back damage. And again, TVP Killsteel trying to do whatever, but he is just too big target and you cannot miss that. Look at him. He 169 health left and he probably did maybe one shot of damage so far.
Zeddy now is pushing in with that batch that is not going to work out. Already taking 1.5 in this one. A little bit suicidal as he does pick up Dani in the room, but Diplomat trades him in return. And now this seems to be the push from Legend, but the HP advantage so far so much in favor of Gohard. No, a little bit of desperation here. Kills with the TVP, trying to do what he can as well, but Gohard has so much HP now. Niall is pushing in as well. El Nino drops low. Ebep is already lower. And Ali in that IS-7 just standing there, getting blown up as Tiny picks up Killsteel before, and it's not looking good for Legend in this one at all.
Much more skillful play by Gohard now. They did not allow any mistakes to happen. They rotated unspotted. When they pushed hard and chased them away from the positions and really showed how this defense is broken easily. I think defense like this would be much stronger with a slightly different tank pick that Legend could take. No TVPs as example. And then they would be able to fend off those guys while they're closing in. Different angling, different positions, that would work. They really had no chance actually how to help out those guys.
There's two heavies there from Legend being caught on the rails. They cannot let Gohard just cross the F line like that for free, pretty much, doing nothing to them at all.
They had nothing to do because they were completely on bad positions, taking damage far ahead. You cannot play hull down with TVP, it's just not possible.
TVP, not our favorite pick on Prokhorovka. Understatement, but now it's starting to look a little bit like a landslide. It was close in the beginning, close in the second round. This one,
they had a really good control of their movement on Ghost Town, but now we saw even this last push when Zed just went to die. It was a panic move. It's not even panic move. It was like they were aware they have nothing to do and let's just go and finish the game.
Take a look at stats in the meantime, though. You can see here that it is going to be Skarium and then Kaizu, Niall, Tiny, and Killer Kid. I mean, if you want to see an issue for Legend, there is one. First top 5 slots, all being taken by Gohard players.
I'm looking forward to see the TVP damage. I really am.
As we see here, Killsteel 1.2, Dima 1.1.
Pretty much all the guys that were holding the flank for them did nothing. You can see Bachat's TVPs on lower part. The only guy that did less damage is Ipurash, and he's not even supposed to do damage.
Ipurash was just spawning that southern side.
Yeah, I would say if they picked like Bachats and tier 9 Bachats instead of Ru and this, they would have a much greater chance to do some kind of crossfire and run away on time.
Now, the only advantage I give Legend coming into this next round is that they're on the defensive side.
Oh.
No, I mean, no,
They're attacking
they're
now.
attacking now. Okay, they have no advantage coming into the next round.
Gohard proven to even play aggressive in their defenses. They are not even changing tactics so far that much, just utilizing some stuff they used before and rebranding it. Let's say like that. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see some heavy-duty defense now because they can allow themselves to play a bit more passive.
Let's see though what Gohard has in store for us. Looking at the lineups here, Legend now. I would say I like this one, but then I see two TVPs, so never mind. Gohard's lineup, approved.
Yeah, pretty balanced lineup. You can do whatever you want to this. My bet, I would rather see them play the village side with this than go on open field, but it's their choice. They can just even trench up there if they want to then play counter rotations over the field.
Legend though, gonna have to see how they utilize those TVPs. Not really great for pushing because they can't kill anything by themselves. So you need two TVPs to kill pretty much one bad shot. And they are really, really not great at sniping.
TVPs are, guys, mainly good if you want to stop someone pushing, and not that good when you want to push yourself.
Let's see what Legend has in store for us though. Moving into our fourth round here between these two. Gohard could bring it to match point now. Or is Legend gonna pick up that first round? You can see here Mojo. Very, very weird that the 3-1-1-3s from Legend are driving straight to the middle.
It's kind of an old school play if you remember, but they would usually stick closer to the rail. Here, they don't want to do that, so they want to make some kind of crossfire between those two. It's doable, and they can do some damage like this. Dani should keep them spotted, but he's alone there. That can be a problem. A bit of a problem for Gohard. But Gohard, all they have to do here is actually push on those 1-1-3s.
But Iporasha already taking a lot of damage here. Zed is chasing down Dani. Should be able to pick up this one, but at the same time, the push, pay attention to the minimap. The entire push from Gohard will be in that center area where everybody from Legend is grouped up. Zed should be able to pick up Dani here, but there comes the push from Gohard. That middle area, Iporash goes down already. Ali is the next one. Ebeb drops low. The entirety of Gohard is here, and there's a lot of tanks from Legend not in this fight. A great counter push. Great counter push coming out from Gohard here.
We said already the real answer for these tactics that Legend plays is just to push on them because they're split on two sides of the rail. You use the gun advantage you have for those several seconds, even before the rest arrive to clip you in the back. So there we have it. The guys that were on the other side are still on the other side. They're now even in reload, in worst position they were ever.
Now Diplomat here taking a lot of damage, but at this point, if you just look at the HP advantage, Gohard has double of Legend. They have to be careful, but there shouldn't really be any issues for them closing out this round.
The only issue at the
as
moment,
Kill still is on reload and Killer Kid will be off reload.
The only issue at the moment is Gohard is smelling the victory and they're just playing carelessly now. Otherwise, they wouldn't lose even the single tank.
Now Kill still getting chased by a bad shot, gets set on fire again, goes down, and it's all onto D-TVP, as that will be it. Kaizu rams him to that, now bringing the scoreline 4-0 in favor of Gohard.
Well, first map was promising, we were hoping.
Second map.
Hope is going down now.
It looked like this in the first round and like this.
Not really cute sight. Ghost Town was well prepared, well played. They were hoping they can still do it. It looks like they're just giving up their hopes now. And this last tactic, it was just
Gohard,
flawed from the start.
Kudos to Gohard though, because a lot of teams wouldn't take this overmatch, seeing that there's a lot of tanks of Legend on the other side and then straight push.
Honestly,
taking down everybody.
Every better team I know would do exactly the same. They would just go hard on those. Oh, wow. They would just go on those tanks.
Wow, you didn't even realize he made a pun there.
Yeah, they would just go on those three tanks because they had no real help. Even with Legend tanks going after them, we saw Zed chasing a light tank there. What a waste of time. A Clipper chasing a light tank in a mass fight.
I would say it was a very swift victory for Gohard.
Wow, we're so poetic today.
As we can look at stats as well, and we can see here that it was Diplomat now. And if you want to talk about actual issues, first, the top 7, there's only 6 from Gohard.
Who is missing there? Oh, Dani in a light tank.
Yeah, I mean...
Even he did 3 shots, I think.
Well, he was getting chased down by a 3-9 bad shot. Not much to be done for Dani in that one, but... Yeah. the real issue here for
And
Legend.
Dima did the 2.4k
He did
damage.
1.2k when Gohard was like, okay, we won the round.
Those last 4 shots were done when they were already when the game was already lost.
Dani there in that RU and Ipurash.
Dani out damaging Ipurash hardcore.
I mean, it's not hard if Ipurash didn't do any damage.
Quite a problem for a team. Quite a problem for a team. And he was even on the safe side of the map.
Now, there was nothing to be done for Legend in that one, as Gohard saw the advantage, took the advantage, and then completely wiped Legend off the map, who had 3 guys on the other side of the rails, and that was all she wrote.
So we are now on a match point.
And the
Rather
next
fast
map
one.
is going to be Mines, and Gohard is defending.
Ouch.
This could be 5-0.
And that's the best guess, yes. Gohard is actually quite skillful on mines. They have decent tactics and everything.
And they have some mountain goats.
Yeah, they have a lot of mountain goats. They know how to do it. And Legend didn't even play mines yet. Not a single time.
Let's take a look at the lineups, though, moving into our possibly last round here between these two Legends.
And finally, tier 9 Arti. I wanted to see that so much on mines.
M53-55, played by Diplomat. Has to be played by Diplomat. If they play it by anybody else, I'm going to be upset.
He will leave the team if anyone else plays it. That's for sure.
I would leave the team if anybody else played it.
So we have a Grille. Okay, we already stated it's okay, but we would like to see some other tank there. VZ tier 9, that's the only mid they need, and a lot of budget so they can climb around and do rotations. That's perfectly nice setup to
I like
stop
this lineup.
anything. Yeah, it's pretty good.
The WZ is a great buffer as well. I mean, it's not a 1-1-3, but it's a great tank in general as well. And the M53, if utilized correctly, can do a ton of damage. Is Gohard going to do it, or is Legend going to come back? Let's find out as we move into Mines.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
So this is it. No, it's Nile. Why? Not Diplomat. Why?
Everyone strike. On strike, immediately. Diplomat not in RT, not happening.
I'm not casting this round, Mojo. It's not Diplomat playing already. Go ahead.
Maybe because Nile got caught off once or twice. Oh, Dima already took some damage while crossing.
Now Nile, in this artillery piece, a hell of a lot of damage. He can remove any of these bad shots off the map, and he has reload. Let's see. Only 381 though. If this was Diplomat, that would have been a one-shot.
Yeah, definitely. Nile, you are in a problem, mate.
Now, Killer Kid here taking some damage, and Gohard seems to be just wanting to take the hill. There's nobody from Legend actually in that A1, A2 position, so this
Not
could be
even the
fairly
hill,
strong.
they just want to have a crossfire so they can decap them from the both sides. Grille and Arti. Arti is already moving in.
Now, this is bad for Gohard, though. 3 bad shots crossing already and unspotted so far.
Ooh, Zed failed here. He was supposed to go around, but he just fell down.
But Tiny in that Grilla is in a lot of problems here. Ali is pushing forwards towards him. They need to get up here. They need to make sure Tiny doesn't land another shot, but he will have reload. Dani picks up Dima, and Ali taking a lot of damage here as well. It looked good for Legend, but now taking so much damage moving up there.
No, they needed to push much more offensively on that Grille and actually take the cover in that bushes, because that was the only spot safe they had from the rest of the Gohard. But just standing there and taking pounding.
But this is the push from Legend again, though, as Diplomat goes down. Ipurash falling in return, and Zed only having 2 shells left, and there's a lot of clippers there waiting from Gohard. Once they have reload available, it's not looking good, but still, HP kind of even. As I say that, though, Niall removes that Wheezy.
Legend is going in Bonnie and Clyde style here, guns blazing, definitely, if nothing else.
Guns blazing, as now Killsteel could be able to pick up Dani here. Dani on reload so far. Not sure how many shells Killer Kid has available, but Killsteel seems to be favoring shooting somebody else as Ebeb goes down in the return, and it's not looking good for Legend into this one. Dani now reloaded. Kaizu picks up Ali. Zed still on reload, and that will be all she wrote. Mojo as now Killsteel, the last guy standing, and Dani
Oh, he's being chased
will
by
get
him
the
and
final
no
kill.
shells there.
And that will be it. Gohard 5-0ing Legend.
Again,
Sayonara, Legend.
what deja vu for Legend. Well, they changed tactics. They tried hard today. Didn't work out.
Even this round was promising at some point. If they pushed very hard on that K4 position, take down Tiny, they have a nice advantage.
That was the only moment they could have done it. But also they had Nile there, who was waiting with a shotgun, like 10 destroyers there, I think, behind the rock. I don't know, the first guy who would do it.